phone, internet.
Okay.
With, you know, nothing. So, might be, even bathroom and things like that. So, we'll just kind of be prepared for
Yes.
it. Be prepared, no, full staff.
See this?
Mm-hmm.
Like hope.
That's goes for both.
So we're live on YouTube now, yeah?
Yes, bro. Let's start.
Okay, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pachani Nivishesha Shunyavani Prashkatyane Shatam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhya vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna. Last week we discussed how to deal with traumatic situations and trauma and past experience that influence us in our current lives, in communities, in communication. And we want to continue to pick up discussing the roles of the four different varnas. We started initially with what's the qualities, what's the duties of a Brahmana. That was among the very first sessions here on our Saturday Varnashram College series. And now we want to continue with what's the duties of a Kshatriya. And initially, we want to hear from Srila Prabhupada before we start the discussion while more devotees are joining. I hope I can share the audio also. Nimar Prabhu? Looks like it's deactivated. Can't
Go
hear
ahead,
you.
Prabhu.
Okay, now it's possible. So okay, let's hear from Srila Prabhupada. You should hear him now in 5 seconds.
Ksatriya Visham Sudranam Japarantava Karmani Prabhimuktani Svabhava Prabhavi Gunai. As I try to explain the social structure of the human society as they are described in the Bhagavad Gita. In previous chapters, Sri Krishna has explained Chatud Varnam Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagas. By quality and by work, there is or there must be 4 divisions of the social structure. Chatud Varna. First class, second class, third class, and fourth class. That is very natural. Just like your body, my body, is divided into 4 divisions. The head department. In every I mean to say, unit. There is head department, the first class department, the second class department. So we can understand from our own body, there is head department, there is arms department, there is belly department, and there is a leg department. So, head is first class because if the arms, belly, and legs are there and head is cut off, then everything is useless. If the head is there, arm is cut off, you can go on with your business. So, there is 4 divisions everywhere. Krishna said, Natadasti prithivyangva divi deveshu va punaha saptam prakritijai muktam jadevi shatrivi gunoi. Krishna says that either on this planet or in other planets, in the outer space, or anywhere, the 3 qualities or 3 modes of material nature is working. The modes of goodness, the modes of passion, and the modes of ignorance. Everywhere you will find these 3 classes of living entities. Not 3 classes, 4 classes. The first class, goodness. Second class, passion. Third class, mixed passion and ignorance. And fourth class, ignorance. And below the fourth class, or fifth class, Panchama. So, according to these 3 modes of material nature, there must be division of the society. The first class men are called Brahman, most learned scholar. Learned scholar means, as I was explaining, one who has complete knowledge of God. That is learned scholar. Otherwise, to know how to eat, how to sleep, how to have sexual intercourse, and how to defend, this knowledge is also there in the animals. They know how to eat. There is no need of university for teaching how to eat, or how to sleep, or how to have a sex life, or how to defend. These are animal necessities. But actually, human being should be still more advanced in knowledge. That knowledge is not comprising only eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. That knowledge is to understand the absolute truth, God. That knowledge. Therefore, the Vedanta Sutra philosophy that begins with the word Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Now, this life, this human form of life, is meant for inquiring about the absolute truth. Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Brahma means the absolute truth. So, that should be the subject matter for studying in human form of life. So, Bhagavad Gita is the right book to understand about that Brahma or the Supreme Personality of Godhead or the Absolute Truth, whatever you call. The Absolute Truth is known in 3 phases. Brahma, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Vadanti tat tattvavidas tatyam jadjnanam adhyam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti sabdati. The absolute truth is one, but it is realized from three angles of vision. Some of them are realizing the absolute truth as impersonal Brahma. Some of them are realizing the absolute truth as localized Paramatma. And some of them are realizing the absolute truth as the Supreme Personality of God. Absolute truth is one, but because we are under different modes of material nature, we are understanding the absolute truth in three modes of material nature. So, Krishna says that these three modes of material nature is current all over the universe, even in the topmost planet down to the lowest planet. Therefore he said, Natadasti prithivyang va divi deveshu va purah. Prithivyang means on this, or in the other higher planetary system, or even the heavenly planets, everywhere. Sattang prikitijai muktam. Nowhere anyone is free from the influence of these modes of materiality. Sattang means existence. Sattang prakitijai. Prakitijai means by the material nature. Gunai, the modes, this goodness, passion, and ignorance. Jadevi, shat, everything, everywhere. Even amongst the plant life, beast life, these three gunas are working. Just like some trees, they are useless, neither produce any nice fruit nor flower. That is third class in ignorance. And in animals also, just like cows, they are first class animals in the modes of goodness, supplying so valuable, nutritious food, milk. But the cats and dogs, they are third class animals. This is the calculation of the three modes of material nature. Either human being or animals or the trees or birds, everywhere Krishna says, or in the higher planetary system, everywhere these three modes of material nature is working. Therefore, in the human society, because there are three modes of material nature, the classification should be made scientifically according to these three modes of material nature.
Prabhu, Bharat Prabhu,
That is explained by Bhagavan, Sri Krishna, in
Bharat
the
Prabhu,
Bhagavad Gita. Chaturva.
would you like to little bit discuss as we go
Yeah,
along?
let's come to the part where Srila Prabhupada explains the second class man administrator class and
Okay. How
and
far
then
down
we-
it is? I mean, even in this, it is important to discuss, no? Because Kshatriya, everyone is, I mean, the whole purpose of any society, any organization, any farm community would be like as Srila Prabhupada was saying, the purpose is to get absolute truth, reach absolute truth.
Okay, I can get to the section directly. Yeah.
But even in this, till now, what we discussed, no?
Mm.
Let's talk about because the point is that it is not just living like eating, sleeping, mating, defending, or artha kama, dharma, artha kama, moksha. It's basically to reach absolute truth. So Kshatriyas also, the first duty, it seems like they have to make sure that everyone is arriving there.
Yeah. Mhm. Okay. You can see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. One second, I'll share the rest of the class directly and then connect it with what you just shared. Okay, in that lecture that we just heard, September 7, 1973, in Stockholm, in the university, Srila Prabhupada is further saying the second class man, what is that? Sauryam Tejo Dritir Dakshyam Yude Yapalayanam Danam Ishvara Bhavascha Kshatram Karma Svabhavajam. Bhagavad Gita 1843. Administrator class, Kshatriya. Kshatriya means those who are in the governmental power. They should be Sauryam. Very powerful, very influential, Sauryam Tejaha. Nowadays, without seeing these qualifications, a third class, fourth class man is voted, and therefore we find out that Mr. Nixon, he's attacked now so many because he has no Kshatriya qualification. These are the Kshatriya qualification: administrator, Saucham, Sauryam Tejudriti. He must be determined, Dakshyam. He must be very expert, Yude Chapyapalayanam. And he should not flee away from fighting. When there is nowadays, the politicians and diplomats, they sit down very safely in their room, and poor people, they are by force sent to fight. This is not Kshatriya. This is not an administration. The Kshatriya is, he must come forward first of all. Then others will follow. Yude Chapya Palayanam. And Danam, he must be very charitable. That is another qualification of the administrator. Ishvara Bhavas Cha. And the governing spirit. These are the Kshatram Karma Svabhavajam. Similarly, this is second class. Yeah, so Prabhupada is starting here with the three modes of nature. Three modes of nature. They are acting everywhere, and there are different categories in the trees and plants, and in the animal life, as so in human life. And the highest mode for humans is to be in the mode of goodness. Then second mode that Srila Prabhupada is here describing, second class man, is administrator class, which is in the mode of passion, or sometimes he's referring to mixed mode of passion, mode of goodness. And Nima Prabhu, you're referring to, this all needs to lead to Krishna, needs to lead back to Krishna. That is the ultimate duty for the king, to make sure that the citizens are aligned to Krishna, and that makes it Devi Varnashram. The Varnashram institution is just the structure into the four Varnas and the four ashrams, and the king needs to make sure that everyone is not just aligned with Krishna, but also acting according his own duty.
What is this
Pardon,
thing about the
Prabhu?
king? What is this thing about the king? Where do we see the king nowadays?
Yeah. Where do we see the king nowadays? Yeah, he's
Functioning king. except like Middle East countries, and that's all. I don't know if there's any other functioning kings anywhere.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you're very hardly audible, Prabhu. Very low noise.
I don't know
Yeah,
if there are any.
yes.
I don't know if there are any functioning kings anywhere other than the Middle East.
Yeah, the autocratic, aristocratic system, it's practically dead.
So
Yeah.
how do we get it into now? Like, what is this about? All this Srila Prabhupada is saying about, how does it come to now, applicable now?
Mm.
It looks so far away, like past ages.
Yeah, it
Most
sounds like it's
most devotees, when we are reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, we hear about Kshatriyas, Brahmanas, little bit Brahmanas, but like not proper functioning. All those very qualified Brahmanas. It looks like past ages he's talking about, and people skip those things, those statements. How is it applicable now?
yeah, guna karma vibhaga saha. Yeah, that is described that Krishna is saying we always have Varnashram Dharma active. So there's no time when we are not under uh, under the law of nature, needing to act according to it, and we we have to be acting according to our karma. Yeah, we have to act according to our qualities and um, to work. Yeah. So this is active at any time.
That's what we were discussing, whether in the farm communities now, what should be the governing um, mechanism? Should it be a Kshatriya governing? Should it be Brahmana governing? Brahmana's board? Because whose duty it is to protect physically? Whose duty it is to take people to absolute truth? Because if the king is not there, then whom does the duty fall upon? And if it is the
Mhm.
Brahmanas managing, then how is that? Is that like following Krishna's instructions, or just transcending it and whatever? I don't understand.
I know you understand, and
No, this is a question in my mind because so many devotees have been raising this question. We have had this so much back and forth with Krishna Prabhu, the Krishna Das Prabhu also.
uh,
For weeks and months we were discussing this because some devotees think a board of Brahmana board like that should manage a farm. And
well, I understand there's like that Brahminical council, yeah, that will have some governance function in terms of checks and balances, and to actually give suggestions and uh, yeah, to be of counsel and support to the king, and the so that the king is not executive without any rules. Yeah, like the legislative part I see with the Brahminical council, and they also have some juridical power.
judicial.
Yeah, to remove the king if the king is not acting according to duty. So I understand king, no matter how we define the role nowadays, okay, one could say there is no king because there's no one who has inherited the crown. And at the same time, there's always someone who's supposed to lead. That's what I get from Krishna and Bhagavad Gita, Guna Karma Vibhaga Saha, and then he's saying Varnashram Dharma is always active. So the king must see that every citizen is engaged according to Varna and Ashram, and similarly in a community, which is like a little kingdom, let's say there's a little village, then that is like a backbone of society. In the smallest unit, a nation consists of the families, and if we have bigger units, we have a little community of, let's say, the 50 or so families that we had discussed, that that can be the backbone of one Vedic village. So yeah, one needs to protect them. Yeah, Kshatriya means protection of the citizens, protection of the Brahminic culture of the Brahmins, of the cows. Prabhupada is referring often to that. He's referring in it to in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.3.16, the responsibilities of the ones who are ruling. In other places, in first canto, he is speaking about the king's duty is to protect Brahminic culture, cows. That's in the 9th chapter, 26th verse. And yeah, when you say where are the leaders nowadays, also in first canto, chapter 17, it's about Kali Yuga entering, Kali Yuga starting when unqualified men act as leaders. So in other places, I understand Srila Prabhupada is saying that the king is acting as representative of Krishna. So he needs to be spotless, flawless, and then there could also be discussion. But where are those leaders? Where are those leaders that are flawless, spotless? Hare Krishna, Ramananda Prabhu, Leo, Sri Sai, Tattvadarshina Prabhu, Hari Bol.
I wanted to ask Tattvadarshina Prabhu, what does he think? He has been studying deeply, and he's been living in a farm community also, about this whole king and farm. How does it work? Is he available, Tattvadarshina Prabhu?
Maybe some cannot even hear you. I have turned my
Tattvadarshina
Hare
loudspeaker.
Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Prabhupada. Prabhu, sorry, just now I have joined, maybe like 2-3 minutes ago. I was hearing. Before this, I on it, but I didn't hear. Just from 2 minutes only, I was hearing.
Question is that, can you hear now, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, yes, able to hear you.
Yeah. Question is that Srila Prabhupada talks so much about Kshatriya duties and Kshatriya this and Kshatriya that, but how is that applicable now? Meaning, in the farm community, are we going to designate, like, who is going to lead? Is it a Brahmana devotee going to lead? A group of Brahmanas going to lead? Or someone is going to be designated as like a king or something? So how should it work in going forward in devotee farm communities, or whatever Srila Prabhupada has been talking about for us to do?
Well, like I feel like that you might be knowing more, but just for like as for my little understanding. So what I feel is that like some devotees like Prabhupada also like in like Bhagavad Gita, the Kshatriya qualities like a passion, ruling, all these qualities will be there. Some devotees are like a passionate, they want to lead or they want to rule. Even if we see in the Vedic times, Kshatriyas, they having that qualities, but they always take guidance from the Brahmanas. So like that, we also see like in many farms there are like leaders. So take the decisions very passionately, so that consequences of that passionate desires will create evoke in our society or in the communities. So always those who are in the Brahmana like platform, they have very good sober qualities. So they can understand and they can do welfare of all the devotees within the community. So it is always advisable those are leaders to take the guidance from like a devotees who are in the Brahmanical qualities.
You're not audible, Prabhu.
So who is going to lead the community? Is the Brahmanas are leading in a sense, or there is somebody going to be designated as like the king, or it's not like the how the temple it was running. No, temple Brahmana kind of with some little bit passion would be, kind of not passion, but someone who can manage things would could be a president, temple president. But when in a community, how will it work?
Well, actually, this is one of the very important questions. So I think I also having this question from many years. So we have like because of this farm community, I also feel like that just like Prabhupada has given that all the guidelines in the city temples, temple president, temple commander, vice president, all these things, will those things also will work in the farms, or like it should be like a different kind of management or like different way of like leading? So how the farms will run, like who will be the leading? Because even if the leader is like not thinking the welfare of all the devotees. Just Kshatriya means like that is a make ensure that all the people within the community or like wherever the village or the town or city, all are practicing the spiritual life nicely and taking care of providing all the facility to everyone. So if these things don't happen, so like maybe I also feel one of the reason is like that. Why? Because we have so many farms all over the place, but in most of the farms are like empty, or either two, three devotees, four devotees, five devotees are only staying.
Yeah.
So
So this is the question: who should lead? Brahmana, like temple president kind of thing, group of Brahmanas, or a designated Kshatriya, different from how a temple, how Srila
So
Prabhupada set up.
I think we already have discussed that in the early meetings. Prabhupada is often referring to the analogy of the head, the arms, the belly, and the legs for the four varnas. And there's one lecture where he's saying in 1973, it's the lecture that I started in the beginning, where he's saying now there's a hobby that classless society cannot be. That is not possible. So long you are in the material world, there must be classes. By nature, there is. Huh? And then he's continuing describing how it's working for the birds, and he then continues after some time. So if practically the world wants classless society, then one has to take this Krishna conscious movement. Then there will be classless society. We have got in our society boys and girls from various parts of the world. They're Africans, they're Indians, they're Canadians, Englishmen, American, Australian, but they have forgotten that he is Englishman or American or Australian or black or white or Indian. No, they have forgotten. They are simply interested in Krishna consciousness. This is the importance of the movement. If you want classless society, actually pure, without any contamination of these material modes, then this Krishna conscious movement is the prime movement. So it, yeah. Why shouldn't it be the arms that are leading? The heart is
yeah,
sinking.
theoretically you are correct. But how should it work now?
So, according to guna and karma, someone with the propensities to manage, to administrate the qualifications will naturally take up the job and say, "Oh, here's some trash. Let's not put that into our temple room. Let's have it outside of the house. Let's."
But the Kshatriya duties you just read, what those are? Those are much bigger, much bigger than taking out the trash, keeping devotees engaged fully according to their guna, including the brahmanas,
Huh.
protecting them. It's a lot of duties.
So then we need to look who has most heroism, most power, most determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle, generosity, yeah, leadership. Who has most of that in that community?
Prabhu, one more question is that because we all are born in the Kali Yuga, so we don't have any training, so we don't know like all these qualities, how to judge, and who has to judge whether he's having Kshatriya qualities or not fully.
Mhm. I think
Good
that's
question.
that's the purpose why we are here to discuss exactly that.
Because just
Yeah.
like somebody does, Srila Prabhupada says, somebody doesn't know, and he goes and buys the iron, doesn't know what gold is. So that's what we need to really write it down, like not qualities, but how to symptoms of those qualities, like symptoms, so that
Uh-huh.
people can judge. Yeah. So why don't you? We'll ask Sri Sai Prabhu. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, everybody.
Please introduce yourself and then
Hare Krishna.
say if you have anything to say.
Yeah, my name is Sri Sai. Right now I'm staying in Virginia, but I started going to ISKCON when I was in Alabama with Leo Prabhu. I came to US in 2022. Before that, I was in India. So as for the question, like what I understood is like who has to lead, like Brahmana or Kshatriya, right?
Or a
Mhm.
group of brahmanas uh,
Yeah,
across the board.
group of Brahmanas or yeah, okay. So, but when we look at the ancient times, so Brahmanas were always the knowledge givers, but they weren't in doing any administrative things. Even the Kshatriyas were always taking the advices from them. So I think like um, the Kshatriyas who has the qualification has to take over the leadership, but eventually when sometimes when we hit some blockages, we have to find someone for advices or for some help.
See. So we are kind of coming to this conclusion that in every community we need to figure out a proper Kshatriya and then advised by the Brahmanas. Shall we ask other devotees? Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, that.
Mm.
Ramananda Prabhu.
I remember when Ramananda Prabhu was visiting at Gopal Farm, he was studying with the little Vaishnavas, the qualities of I think it was Kshatriyas or was it Brahmanas? I think it was qualities of Kshatriyas and mm, yeah, also looking into the Artha Shastra.
I also want to add something, Prabhu.
Please go
So,
ahead. Right?
yeah, like I think after we entered Kali Yuga and after a couple of hundreds of thousands of years, the Kshatriya community is dead. So right now, I think there is no Kshatriya community in the society. So when there is no Kshatriya community, we will not be able to identify who is the perfect leader or administrator who we are looking for. Then we can go with the group of Brahmanas, the board.
So you're saying if there is no qualified leader, then the Brahmins can lead.
Yes,
And do you state that is something like in general? You see, like, okay, it's Kali Yuga, so there are no qualified Kshatriyas, then Brahmins should, in general, rule, or you say it could be like that?
it could be like that. Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
What is the basis, scriptural basis?
Mm,
In emergency?
I have no idea like that, but that's what something came into my mind, so I just wanted to share it.
Mhm.
Maybe like once I have heard in Prabhupada's lecture that Prabhupada says under some circumstances a
Mhm.
Brahmana can act as a Kshatriya and Brahmana can act as a Vaisya, but a Brahmana cannot act as a Shudra. Maybe like a Brahmana who are in the Brahmanical qualities, if there is a need of Kshatriya, so they can act like Kshatriya also. And even if to extend, if there is no Vaishyas, a Brahmana who is having the qualities of Brahmana, so he can act Vaishya also, but not as a Shudra.
That's in the
So,
seventh canto. Uh,
Yeah.
it's nicely described. So that's interesting. It's a temporary measure. Brahmana can. So what about the group of Brahmanas?
it's hard to understand you. What about?
What about a group of Brahmanas? So we understood a qualified Kshatriya, a Brahmana in an emergency. What about the group of Brahmanas? Is there any scriptural basis for that?
Maybe like our Goswamis, they all used to together and they used to discuss how to do welfare of the society. Maybe just same like in our farm communities also, just for the welfare of the all the devotees and for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada. So maybe all group of Brahmanas can come together and give the nice, sober decisions. So for the welfare of the all the devotees.
So, in general, I understand the the caste is not according to birth, so it can be changed. It can be changed as long as we change our qualities, and so someone who's a Vaisya can become a Kshatriya.
The Bhagavatam doesn't say that, but you can't go up, you can go lower in an emergency. That's what the seventh canto is describing. So, Gauranga Sundar Prabhu, this
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
the topic being discussed. Who can lead? Brahmana, group of Brahmanas, Kshatriya. First of all, what's the scriptural basis for any of these? Of course, Kshatriya we know. Of a community, a farm community you're talking about.
Mm.
And the practicality of it. What do you think?
Well, leader has to be neither a Kshatriya nor a Brahmana, as per me. Should be Vaishya, should be leading, because he's the one who has the finances, and without finances, I mean, you're not going to go very far, very forward, very. So the every religion or everything you see, it is only the congregation that is leading it. Whether you see Jainism, Sikhism, Christianity, everywhere, it is the congregation that is the Vaishya businessman, they lead it. They are the one who is providing the money, finances. And without the finances, what can the Brahmana do? He can lead the knowledge, right? But the community has to be led by the Vaishyas, as per my understanding, because that is where the finances will flow. He's going to construct the temple, everything. Kshatriya can give protection. In today's democracy and what we are talking about, a Kshatriya at the most can give protection. He cannot take. So it has to be the Vaishyas who are going to lead. That is what I feel. That is what I've studied.
Scriptural basis.
Kshatriya is leading in scriptural basis because he's the one who's providing. Even to the Brahmanas, he's providing.
So where is the
But
scriptural basis of
but where are the
Vaishya?
Kshatriyas now? Where are the Kshatriyas now? And how much they can access power in today's democracy?
Prabhu,
How much
I
power they
also
can.
so I
So
also
today,
heard in
so
one morning.
today we have to deal with the practicality also of today's situation. Then only a community can be successful. Today, a Kshatriya cannot exercise all the powers he has through the Vedas, through Shastra. Not possible in today's principle situation. So if I mean, for a Kshatriya to access everything, then he has to have his own, you know, punishment codes and everything, laws. And which country will give that power to anyone? You have to follow in America. You have to follow the American law. So Kshatriya's work basically is cut so much in Kali Yuga. Till you have the ideal system, you know, the best person to lead today's Varnashram will be Vaishyas only, as per my understanding.
So what is the scriptural basis sorry, Tattva Darshan Prabhu raised his hand.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I don't exactly remember the reference, but I have heard from Prabhupada in some morning walk or room conversation where this Prabhupada was telling actually neither in Kali Yuga we have like Brahmanical qualities nor Kshatriya qualities, not Vaishya. Even if there is a little qualities, then Prabhupada said fan it up. Little spark. Every one of us, maybe someone will be, if you examine, we may not have fully, but if you have some qualities, but if you give a good training, so they can also develop those qualities.
Mhm. That
But
is.
even small spark is there, just fan it up
Uh-huh.
so that the
Mhm.
light will increase in the fire.
Mhm. There is one reference mm, to this dynamic approach, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya 1629. Prabhupada is quoting in the purport. He's quoting from Anushasana Parva, chapter 163. O Devi, if even a Shudra is actually engaged in the occupation and pure behavior of a Brahmana, he becomes a Brahmana. Moreover, a Vaisya can become a Kshatriya.
Where is that from, Prabhu?
That is from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya 1629. I think what you referred to, it's maybe we misunderstood there. Like, I think what you refer to might be connected to, as a Brahmana, you can become a Kshatriya. You can learn trading. You can learn by your intelligence and peacefulness. You can learn what the other uh, varnas are doing, but you cannot do it the other way around. You cannot, as a Shudra, become a Brahmana. And actually, if you uh, if you change the qualities, then it's dynamic. You are not by birth just one caste, but you can shift. Guranga Sundar Prabhu.
Yeah, by birth, everyone is Sudra in Kali Yuga, so we can become Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra. We can go up. Because by birth, everyone is a Sudra in Kali Yuga. So if we can't go up, then, how are, the Sudra, the Vaishnavas, doing puja and everything in the temple. They have got Brahman initiation, so they can go up. Sudras can go up. You know. They are like Malechas, and Prabhupada made them into Brahmanas. So obviously, by Prabhupada say by initiation you can, turn, bare metal into like quotes that shloka, Prabhupada quotes that shloka. So it can be possible by initiation.
So about this Vaishya becoming the leader, like what is like
For
how does
example,
the
Prabhu,
head
for
become
I,
example,
the
I
Prabhu,
think
yeah, yeah.
I think Nimai
the Ma- the
Prabhu
Ma- the Mayapur project,
phone.
Ford has, you know, he's the one who is financing it and he's calling the shots. He's a Vaishya. So he is like leading it. So one who will get the money, one who will get the land, he's going to lead it. He's not going to let, others lead it. Otherwise, while he'll get the money, he'll say, I'll do it myself. So in Kali Yuga, you can't expect, a Vaishya to become so magnanimous. Otherwise, okay, I'll give you the land free now, someone else lead it. That kind of leap of faith is not going to have. Not practical, you know.
Nimai Prabhu, we were not
Yeah.
hearing you. I think you might need to lift the phone to speak into the phone.
Yeah. So, bro, my biggest issue now, why a person is doing a Vaishya duty is because he has a little bit more of passion, not little bit, quite a lot
I,
of passion. Can you hear now? Can you hear?
no,
No?
I think that headset microphone is not working. I think only from the phone.
Can you hear now?
Nothing
No?
changing.
Oh my God.
I mean, I can hear you, but very dimly.
What about now?
It's the same. It's audible, but not so strong. Okay.
Maybe you can translate little more. The
Or you
problem is
speak
that,
loud.
yeah, problem is that what about the spiritual direction, the discriminatory power of what is right, what is wrong, the purific, the self, taking the self out and giving the direction. Because when the money is there, then one is thinking how to profit. Like there is some profiteering mentality, in Vaisya.
Mm.
So it can get mixed into the whole direction, the preaching, the whole how the society is organized. Like what people say to Trump that, oh, because of the crypto, or because he is going to profit from it also. And who knows, maybe he's coloring the regulations because of it. So, the respect goes down, no, the leader, the trust. So I don't know how it's going to work if Vaishya leads. One question. Second point is that all the examples other than Ambrish Prabhu, what you gave was of Ketava dharmas. All the Jainism, all the Sikhism, everybody you're talking about, all of them are Ketab dharmas. They are not on pure devotional platform. They have been kicked out from Bhagavatam. And there is a reason, no?
What I was saying is,
Yeah.
for them to become successful. That was my point. I'm not talking about just to become a successful, community. That was my point. I mean,
Mm.
they are the richest community. Anywhere you see.
Why can't qualified Brahmanas be created who can accept the donation and
Prabhu,
and
Prabhu,
manage?
suppose for your land only. Okay, Gopal Farms.
Yeah.
Now tell me how much land you can give to a qualified Brahmana without having control of it.
However much they can utilize.
No, it's not. See, to tell it is very simple, but to when it
No,
comes
I'm
to giving
doing it.
100,
No, I'm
100
doing it. No.
okay, so
Yeah,
if
yeah.
someone wants to use the 100-acre land of yours, and you can just transfer it to the Brahmana,
Yeah.
no, you will keep something for yourself, right? Everyone will, and you
No,
will want
not at
some,
all. No.
and and
Oh, no,
and you
that
will
is not
want
true.
some.
How you
Yes,
can? No, no, no.
I'm saying, and you will want some
Not at
control.
all.
Okay, on what basis you are doing it,
No,
on what, how, everything you will want that
definitely,
plan.
definitely,
Yeah. So then
definitely.
Vaishya is
No.
putting the plan,
So
na? Vaishya is
control
putting the
meaning
plan. So
not
he's leading it.
afterwards.
He's leading it. In the
No, 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 no,
Prabhu, he's
no,
putting
no,
the
no,
he
no,
wa-
no, no,
you
no, no, no,
you
no.
will want to be
So one
100%
second.
sure. No, one second. You want to be 100% sure that your land is not misused by Brahmana or Kshatriya and anyone. Then only you will put in that project. So that is control, na, Prabhu. Where the control is not there. Without control, the project will go haywire. You will have to have how you're going to spend the money. Give me the whole project. Explain to me everything. You'll want everything on the table. Then you will say, okay, I'm giving. So that is control only. You're making the judgment there.
Can I speak?
You're not allowing the Brahmana to make a judgment.
Can I speak, bro?
Yeah.
See, the like in US universities, there are gifts, there are endowment gifts. The gifts are done, it is given for the let's say the college to use, but there is also a gift terms. It is not talking about you exactly do like this. There is a general term that you want to use it for Krishna. Like you will not profiteer from it personally. Those kind of terms. Not like you do exactly like one, two, three. Then of course it is like the control. We are not talking about like that now. There is a just like Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says one gives a donation, one should do it to the right people. It's not like you can just
Yeah, but
say
who will make the terms?
it is the whoever is giving donation and whoever is
So that
accepting
is what,
donation.
no? So he is having that much control that he is making the terms.
Okay,
It
so
has to be his
agrahara,
terms. It has to be his
agrahara.
terms.
No, these terms should be from the scriptures also, no? Then it is a creating manodharma. The scriptures are telling that, let's say the agrahara, temple, the activities of a brahmana, all of these should be done for the service of the Lord. So whatever the service, they also given of the brahmanas, what all services are there. So according to that, one does, okay, this is you do
But
it.
then the Brahmanas know na, what to from the same scriptures. The Brahmana knows that this has to be done. So why put the terms
Yeah,
then? Then let them control it. Okay, this is land. Take it and
fine.
do it as you want.
Very good question. Very good question. What happens? Main problem happens is, let's say they fall down. Second is their kids are no more trying to follow that. Then what? Then the whole community can become all corrupted
So
now.
that is what I'm saying. So the terms and conditions, some will be have to be said by the Vaishyas only here. That these
No,
are the terms.
overall,
Now, yeah,
overall.
that's what. So that is what I'm saying also. Overall terms and condition, the person who is getting the land, who is putting the money, he will set the terms, and that will be Vaishyas only most of the time.
Okay, but that is scripturally given, no, that a Brahmana should be using it for this purpose, that purpose. But after that, daily managing, daily making sure that it is going towards the main goal, changing the different permutations of how it should be done, who should be placed where. All this is not what Vaishya would do, no. Not
And
directly
what if
managing.
that Brahmana leaves and goes away? Then to get the new Brahmana
That
and everything.
Kshatriya should make sure another Brahmana should take over, not the Vaishya. That person has already given donation and gone. No more constant monitoring, no?
How much a person will be not get involved if he's going to get every money and
So
land and
that's the
everything. He will
problem, no?
want to get
Then
involved. That is why his trust.
then be
He want to be one of the
qualified,
trustees.
right? So that is the question, no? That is the whole point. Whether a Brahmana should be trustee, who should be trustee, who should be running the society. That's exactly the practical question. And if the Vaishyas are doing it, then their motives get colored into it generally. Unless they are Vaishnava Vaishyas, then they are above Brahmanas anyway. So I don't know how the pure devotional goal can be achieved from a community, in a community for the community, and from the community to the outside people, if with people with colored motives and all lead the society.
But then Kshatriya also is mode of passion. Kshatriya is mode of passion. So then
It's
he will also, because of mode of passion, he will also want his advantages. You know that is what mode of passion brings in. Kshatriya is mode of passion.
I need to see the
So definitely, no. So that is why the Brahmanas, but then Krishna is saying you divide the duties. If there is anyway going to be profiteering mentality from somebody, better to do it. Let the Kshatriya do it, because don't do your duty, no. Don't do another's duty, even if perfectly.
Mm.
Because he's naturally suited for it. People like that's what he likes to do. So 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 I don't know how the Vaishya leading, because see all these other religious societies which have these I know in US how it happens, and exactly like this was happening the around the temple devotee, all the people in the congregation, they're trying to lead because the Brahmanas are like employees. And then I understood that this will not work, because their preaching mentality, their self-sacrificing mentality, and what the priority should be is
But the Vaishya should be Vaishnavas, no? You have that much, I mean, you can't have first of all, a person who will want to have such a project. I mean, he will have some Vaishnava quality, and then only he's ready to embark on such a big mission of Varnashram Dharma. He will have some Vaishnava quality, then only. Otherwise, why he's going to make his profit only? Why he wants to get into this headache? So
But
he has to be a
Varnashrama,
Vaishnava. If it's a Vaishnava, then it's same for all the Varnas. Huh? Anyone leads. How does it matter? It's Vaishnava.
the levels of Vaishnavas, no? Srila Prabhupada says, Mam cha yo vyabhicharena, then he's a Vaishnava, pure Vaishnava, no problem. But if he's not, he's practicing to become that, then he's, it cannot be the same, no? That is why Varnashrama is required, and then he has to follow Vaishya duty, is to just donate it to the right people with some promise that you will use it for this purpose. Not like a
But
Vaishnava
the
who can
but
lead.
but the same thing, Prabhu. That how does he know that the Brahmana who is he giving is of a higher quality, conscious wise?
That's very
You
good,
know,
very important
you know.
point. That's what we have to figure out, how to train everybody We have to learn how to judge the symptom by symptoms. Tattvadarshina Prabhu. It's a very
But
good
if
question, actually. Yeah.
we ourselves are in the modes and not yet purified, how will we even have the clarity to understand the symptoms of a top Vaishnava and Brahman Varna? No, because our conscience will also be tinted only. Even our conscience will be tinted only as per our understanding, our circumstances. We are going to judge that.
Yeah. So, no, you are very correct. So this is, we were discussing this point into this, let someone else deal, no? Bharat Prabhu.
Tattvadarshina Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So I have this question, like na, because Prabhupada wanted this Varnashram because we are not come to the platform of the Vaishnavas. So like this is helping us to become a Vaishnavas. So like how come that again in this Varnashram that Vaishnava Vaishyas will lead? I don't think it will work it out.
So yeah, you're saying we are actually not on the basis of Vaishnavas, like qualified Vaishnavas in terms of the 26 qualities of a Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada wants us to follow the Varnashram system. Yeah, yeah. That's leading us back to fundamental questions here. Yeah. Mm. I do have one section where Srila Prabhupada is speaking about that topic in a lecture that I want to read. Yeah. I can say from when it is. It's August 17, 1972, lecture Srimad Bhagavatam 1 to 14. All the Kshatriya kings were taking direction from highly learned sages and brahmanas, just like Yudhishthira Maharaj. So these two classes are now wanted. Here is stated Chatur Varanyam Varnashram Varnashram Vibhaga Saha. Otherwise, this present human civilization is dead. There must be these two classes of men, Brahmana and Kshatriya. Shudras and Vaishyas are there. There are so many shopkeepers and workers and laborers. There's sufficient number. Now there is no Brahmana and Kshatriya. So our Krishna conscious movement is to give some benediction to the whole human society. It's not a sectarian so-called religion sentiment. No, it's a scientific movement. Scientific movement. If you say why you're interested to save the human society, that's Krishna's business. Krishna wants, God wants that all these living entities, they should come back home, back to Godhead. Why they are suffering? Therefore, Krishna comes personally, paritranaya sadhunam vinasha chadushkritam dharma samstapanartaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Krishna is very anxious. We are suffering here, rotting here. We are sons of Krishna. Krishna does not like to see that we shall rot here. He wants, come back home, dance with me, eat with me. But these rascals will not go. They will stick here. No, sir, it's very good here. I shall become hawk and eat stool. That is very pleasant. So this is position. Therefore, because we are Krishna conscious, we are servants of God. Therefore, it's our duty to save this human civilization. You see, Krishna wants it. And to save this human civilization, these two classes are required very urgently. So you American boys and girls, you're intelligent. You have got all facilities. At least in your country, create these two classes, Brahmana and Kshatriya. The world will be saved and you will be saved and Krishna will be pleased. Brahmana's business means that people should know what is God, what's our relationship with him. That's Brahmana's, and Kshatriya's business is to give protection to the people so that they may all know what is God. That is Kshatriya's. And Vaishya's business is to provide food for them, production. And Shudra is to help all these three classes by their labor. This is social organization.
Our Krishna Kishore Prabhu has joined. Maybe you can put the question to him and he'll give a brief synopsis of where that discussion is right now.
Well, yeah, the question was in the discussion between you and Gaurasunda Prabhu. Now, who is leading? Are the Kshatriyas leading in the communities nowadays or future communities that we create? Is it the Kshatriyas that are leading? Is it the Brahmanas that are leading? And you just now discussed, based on the hypothesis of Gaurasunda Prabhu, actually it's the Vaishyas leading because they create the financial basis. So who is actually qualified? That was our question here also. Who is qualified to lead nowadays, and how do we know who is qualified? How can we judge? How can we judge? Nima Prabhu said, yeah, we need to judge by the symptoms. But yeah, how do we know someone is actually more qualified? And yeah, that is the question. If anyone
Krishna
has
Krishna
any.
can ask.
Yeah. Krishna Kishore is Sri Chaitanya Sampradaya?
Yeah.
Ah, Hi Krishna. Krishna Kishore Prabhu. Okay, that is Spanish. That's from Mexico, huh?
He's busy somewhere. Yeah. Okay.
Haribol.
Not able to hear.
Yeah, the mic is unmuted, but there's no
Sound.
noise coming. We cannot hear yet. Actually, Nimai Prabhu, your audio it came back very wonderful, even when you were using the headset, and now it's perfect as well. Okay. So let's try again. Still nothing, Prabhu.
Prabhu, should I bring, or you need
I'm
it
gonna
now?
bring them now.
Okay.
And when you leave, can you make sure the door is locked?
Yes.
Thank you.
My thing goes till 10 every Saturday.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'll miss the beginning, but I'll be right there.
So it's not hearing. Maybe Ramananda Prabhu can
Also, there's Leo there. Yeah. Whoever
I think
feels.
the main point is a Vaishnava should lead. It can be Brahmana, Kshatriya, whoever is qualified. It should be Vaishnava by consciousness, and then he should lead. That should be the person leading the thing. It could be any Varna, but he should be a Vaishnava.
Yeah, and I mean, when you say that, it could be anyone, Vaishnava. Yes, that was what we discussed initially. Also, like now, when you said it needs to be a Vaishnava, Vaishya, at least some Vaishnava qualities, then actually the next point is, yeah, any Vaishnava can lead. Okay, on the level of Vaishnava, then we don't have the constraints of the varnas. And then where's the point in
There'll be one constraint in this, Prabhu.
creating
One,
varnashram colleges and
one constraint will be there in this.
uh-huh.
That a Brahmana Vaishnava will not have the money to sustain it longer and not to start also. So
Well,
that is
I played
financially it will hold him back.
I play the devil's advocate here. If it's a real Vaishnava Brahmana, then he's depending fully on Krishna, and Krishna is just providing him or whatever he needs. Where's the need for him to make money? He just gets it when he needs it.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, I mean,
So that is what Dhira Govinda calls in his book. He calls it like it could be the spiritual bypass. I would say it's in that category where we like we take out the trump card of like we put the one in front of the zeros, and then we make it millions and trillions. And here I think it's helpful for our laboratory setting of discussing Varnashram Dharma. If like let's put the one in front of the zero aside, not the way, but just let's see the qualities of a leader. Yeah, what does the qualities of a leader need to be?
yeah, true, Prabhu. But when you want to create many such communities, and then we will have to have a more practical approach. Can't wait for every Vaishnavas with that consciousness everywhere. You can't expect and wait for that. You will have to go back like my back. Either we have to create great Kshatriyas, Vaishnava, and great Kshatriya Brahmana, or whatever we have right now, with that we have to move forward, and that person should lead, because how will you judge whether a person is good conscious in today's scenario? This person is perfect consciousness, that perfect, you can't judge, so who has the power in current situation, that person is going to lead it,
Uh-huh.
that is what I.
It's what this what you're saying is reminding me of. I remember what Nima Prabhu told me once in Gopal Farm, New York, like about in the third chapter, Krishna is describing about the different categories of work, and there's the emergency work. Uh, uh, I'm wondering how this is applying here.
Yeah, it's an emergency work. So emergency work, the person who has the finances power, he has to lead and wait for the perfect Kshatriya, perfect Brahmana to come from that system or Varnashram college or that, and then that person, then the perfect Varnashram can be set into motion. Otherwise,
Is that
initially,
not the whole point of what we are doing here? Setting
yeah,
up something ideal.
yeah,
I mean, we and Srila Prabhupada is saying make it more perfect, but striving for the ideal. We start
yeah.
with
So
emergency,
we start with
and
what we have. We started what we
and
have.
and then our point here isn't it to discuss what is the ideal, what is the ideal, and then what is practical according to time and
Yeah.
circumstance.
So yeah,
Like
both things.
let's say
What
in
is the
Nima
ideal?
Pandit Prabhu's
Where we have to
situation.
reach? What is the ideal where we have to reach, and today where we can start from to reach that? That should be what should be.
Okay, just to churn it a little further, like Nimai Prabhu already has that situation. Yeah, it's provided for the land is there, business is there. So now who shall lead? Who is yeah? What should be the description like that Nimai Pandit should search for? Ramananda Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Sorry. I'm just, I'm in the process of cleaning bathrooms, getting ready for a family gathering. So, thank you. Sorry, I came in late. I appreciate everybody's contributions, and I really like getting to hear the mood and everything before digesting. Just to take the benefit of those who are taking initiative to put forth their their ideas. I think I would feel comfortable if the Brahmana is always at the head, not necessarily leading, but at least the Brahminical, knowing that the Brahminical principles is what's guiding everything. So like Nimai Pandit refers to the direction, the possibility of direction being lost if it's Vaisyas that are leading, or even if it's the Kshatriyas, because they're controlled by the lower modes, and the lower modes bring lust and greed. So the Brahminical personalities, who are for the most part devoid of lust and greed, would be the ones that I would feel comfortable at least knowing that they're not interested in administering necessarily, but they should be at least the ones that are guiding those who are. And that's obviously, I think that's the natural order, right, of the Varnashram, is that those who are controlled by somewhat lower modes are taking benefit of the lower modes to actually be engaged with like passion and in those occupations. Otherwise they might not have the motivation to do such, but they're being guided by brahmanas who are above those modes for the most part. And makes me think of a couple of things. Prithu, was it Prithu?
Yeah.
Vena and Prithu, and also of Chanakya Pandit, the story of Chanakya Pandit, and he was he had found out some what was the name of the king that Chanakya Pandit had spotted. I think he was playing amongst a bunch of just kids, Shudras, but he was able to identify
Chandragupta Maurya.
Chandragupta Maurya, yeah, thank you. And so he took it upon himself to train him because he saw that he had the qualifications. But he never was interested in leading himself, Chanakya Pandit, but he made sure to train one who would be. But the thing is, the Brahmana knows how to train, right? So the Brahmana should be like, quote unquote, all-knowing, and they should know how to sort of engage the Kshatriyas and the Vaisyas. So in the same way, the Brahmanas they appointed Vena Prithu, or they turned him out of Vena. They knew they needed a Kshatriya, so they couldn't or they didn't want to do away with the Kshatriya or Vaishya, but they were able to judge the situation and put somebody in place or put some system in place. Now it's a totally different story because they were kind of like in the age of democracy or whatever. So I guess the first priority would be to establish sort of the Brahminical order, or establish the head, and then have that guide things. Next step, how should we administrate? And then find the candidate or candidates and put them together to administrate. And I don't know, and part of the Varnashram college would be that the Brahminical order, being the teachers in a Varnashram college, should be able to establish some kind of training, ad hoc training process to make sure that the administrators that are in place, are being properly guided and are developing the proper qualifications, such as management and communication and whatever it might be. So it might be that the Brahmanas could even have the power of making the money because they know how to do everything, right? Prabhupada when he was talking about the Varnashram college, he was talking about the Brahmanas being able to learn everything, and then they would be able to teach it. And then so the devotees asked Prabhupada, so the Brahmanas should learn everything so that they can teach it? And he said, no, well, not every Brahmana should. A Brahmana shouldn't have to learn everything, but a Brahmana can learn, like one Brahmana can learn one thing, another Brahmana can learn another thing, and then naturally they're Brahmanas, they're not Vaishyas or Kshatriyas, so it's not that they're learning it so that they can put it into practice, but they can learn it so that they can find a candidate with proper potential. And perhaps if we're just talking about putting into place some kind of village, you find those individuals or an individual who has the qualifications and just put them in place for the meantime, and then go through a process of purification or training. Either learn a bit before, like teach a little bit before, or put it in place and then make sure that what kind of qualifications they need to continue to develop throughout the the growth of whatever the initiative is. But yeah, then the qualifications should become self-effulgent, right? But I guess the danger is somebody who's not qualified taking up the qualification, like to do somebody else's dharma is dangerous. So I was thinking to say, well, whoever wants to take initiative, you'd be the leader. And in one way that will just be the way it goes. Whoever wants to take initiative will take initiative. But then for the unsuspecting participants, people can jump into somebody who takes initiative and they don't necessarily have the qualifications. So then there's a danger that people get burnt out. They lose their investment. They lose so many years of their life or whatever it is. But ultimately, we need people with proper qualifications. And yeah, that's the purpose of Varnashram College is to develop people with all necessary qualifications for successful initiatives.
Thank you.
But
Thank you, Brahmaan.
yeah, thank
I don't
you,
know,
thank
I
you.
see there's Gaura Sundara Prabhu raising the hand. I think wanting to
Very good,
reply to
Ramananda
something.
Prabhu. Thank you.
See, my question is, we are not talking here about one or two person. So Vaishya can give the land, and he moves on, and the Brahmana can lead. What we are talking of here is community, and for community, now community has to be sustained also. Brahmana or Kshatriya, they are not. You need a person who is business minded for a community to sustain itself. For the community to become self independent, you need a person. So, how much ever the Brahmana could be qualified or Kshatriya, but to keep the community going, you will require a Vaishya there
Yeah.
to see the finances and everything of, to make it a completely self sustaining community. You know, so that
Actually,
only.
yeah, if I get you right there, what I hear from you is your main message in different forms is coming back to the strong realization. Yeah, there needs to be the stomach. Yeah, providing. Yeah, otherwise there's no self-sufficiency possible.
Yeah, not possible. So that because right now Kshatriyas are not there in the movement. Not
So
there. Forget about qualified, but the Kshatriya, the qualities are given in Bhagavad Gita. Where do you find Kshatriyas now? So that is out of the question currently. What is the best option you have to sustain a community? That is what my question is.
so I I get there. Nima Prabhu, you want to say something?
Yeah. So, what I've been thinking with all the nice, I mean, such a nice discussion, Gauranga Sundar Prabhu, you like really brought out all these different like odd thinking. So thank you for that to really churn the whole thing. So the like one thing is that money is not important. Like I am doing this, and I can tell you from my personal experience, the process of making money, it's the it's like in the priority, it is like down there to make a community successful if it is to be made for the purpose of pure devotional service to Srila Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya's mission. If it is not, then when the aim is not that, like really the main aim is not that, then it becomes very important. In that order, it rises. Because then motives are there, then you start seeing the other things very important. My personal experience is that when the desire connects with the plan of Krishna,
But Prabhu, who created Gopal Farm to come to this point that money is not
coming to that.
important so much? Who created? You created. You are a Vaishya. You
I
created
have so
Gopal
many
Farm
motives,
to
but
come. Yeah,
let
but to come to the
me
point
let
where
me
you have money itself, shows that you did it. So you did it for that. That's why the money is not a problem for you, because you have shown by your Vaishya example that money is not a problem. But so that's what I'm saying. A Vaishya has to show that, na, come to that point that money is not a problem.
so like if I can just continue this thought process. So uh, when one when the plan of Krishna matches with like let's say leader's plan, leader's thought process, when connects, and the qualification then has to come to that platform, then the money just like magically appears from different sources. It could be from a Vaishya, it could be from one's own creation very fast, like magically it appears. And it has happened in my in this also, how magically it came.
I've seen it.
And magically it can be taken away also. Like I've seen both the things being taken away, and I mean not being taken. process of taking away, almost like hanging on the thread for years, to show by Krishna that what is more important to me is not these things. It's what is the aim, the motive behind all these things. So to purify it is showing that this is not important for me. Now, now, just to answer Prabhu's point, valid point, what he's making, that I started like this and like that. So I wouldn't think that I was acting as a Vaishya, Prabhu. What I took, what Ramananda Prabhu was saying, that because Srila Prabhupada told in the in the Varnashrama talk in March 12th or March 14th, 1974 conversation about you become you like let train yourself in this mode and that mode. That's how I was doing it. I was not thinking, I had never done farming before. I had no qualification like that. So, but I had to do because because Shiva was said this is important, and somebody had to provide for the Brahman. You know how it happened in 2008 in Fulera and all these things. I was trying to figure out how to do it. So that's how I got into it. So I had to do all these things just to do that. But if I had faith and purity and consciousness and everything, then I wouldn't have needed to do my own business. In a sense, I would have been provided for by and now I understand that now I'm going in that mode that I know people will provide, Krishna will provide some way or the other. I don't want to do that anymore. So I've done both, and then I understand, like, and because of being in lower modes, when I'm trying to do, just like Ramananda Prabhu saying, that trying to do the endeavor but not having the qualification, then I messed up with so many devotees, you know, in so many ways, because I was not fully, like, not fully meaning I'm not qualified to be doing that, but because the endeavor probably was going in the right direction, and Krishna helped purify me in the process without having many devotees being disturbed. And hopefully now he feels little more better about the whole situation. And if he thinks, then he may provide more devotees, not come in the association. So finally, it boils down to what is our motive. Finally, like, we really want, like, pure devotional platform, like association where devotees are able to reach Krishna very fast, or we have something in the middle going on. And according to that, I feel, Prabhu, the social order would adjust around that. Anyway.
Yeah, that is a higher realization of I'm not the controller and surrender.
Prabhu, you are
Krishna.
talking on the platform of pure devotional service. We are trying to set up a system which is in the modes of nature. So you have to have a practical approach for it. From that platform, now I am, you're saying, Krishna will provide. And that is not a practical approach, because many places Krishna will test us how we are working for sustaining the community. He will not provide, he may not provide, so we can't just, because
Yeah.
that level of surrender is not there in everyone. So we have to have a practical approach for this.
Mhm.
Like,
I have to say this, Prabhu, Bharat Prabhu, I'm so sorry I had to interject you, because I need to, like, glorify Srila Prabhu, because there was this conversation, similar conversation going on in a GVC meeting. And then, so Srila Prabhu was giving some answer, and then about chanting and everything. Then Satsur Maharaj says, that's very nice, Srila Prabhupada. But practically speaking, so Srila Prabhupada says, practically speaking, what do you mean by practically speaking? This is practical. First business is to chant and hear. And I'm like trying to practice that, and I'm seeing daily basis, like almost daily basis, so many problems going on. My main business, if I do of chanting and hearing, and I see, like, magically those things take care. If they're not taking care, is because I see Krishna wants me to teach something, but not like I have to now focus away from that. You know. So I mean, I understand what you're saying. It is we are trying to organize Varnashrama society, not a pure devotional society, but The direction I'm saying, the people who are leading, no, they need to set the direction and priorities, and like daily basis priorities come up. What should we do? What decisions should be made? That decision power should be with devotees who have this. I wish I had a group of devotees who would have guided me before. Now I feel like you are saying, oh, we should start anyway, any place, any time. Definitely, anyone who has endeavor money, they should start. But the point is that they should always have these devotees guiding who are on pure devotional platform. At least that much we should endeavor if we really want it, and then under their guidance, not under their control, but under their guidance, do it. Then gradually the direction and everything will get purified. No.
My experience of advanced devotees, experienced devotees, or who are on the platform of pure devotional service, they just want to chant and read Prabhupada books and chant and give lectures. They have no interest, I'm seeing, in setting up varnashram, so they don't guide in that way. So, your guidance, their guidance in this, I'm not getting. They say, oh, no need setting up, just Kali Yuga is very fast coming, approaching, just chant Hare Krishna, go back home, back to God. That is what their guidance is.
There can be a different way. Yeah. Sadhu Shastra Guru, that's how we should act. And yeah, we can ask the sadhus in terms of the devotees who sincerely try following Srila Prabhupada, because they by touching his lotus feet, they can act as the same iron rod that becomes fire. And what I hear when you speak, Nima Pandit Prabhu, is what Dear Govinda describes as the clear intention, and he describes actually what the Mayavadis describe it as the law of attraction, but he describes it in the context of co-creating with Krishna. Yeah, no blade of grass is moving without the will of the Lord, and we start with the clear intention, the vision of what we want to create, and only that vision is needed. We act upon that. It's not that we are not acting. Then it would be it would be like Mayavad philosophy. Yeah, he's explaining it with be, do, have, and it's too much to go into this here, and it's not something to understand just rationally. Yeah, we cannot all get your realizations, Nima Prabhu. Otherwise, we would have all these communities already around, or would have all that land. But the trust, according to purity is the force, and the more trust we have in Srila Prabhupada, and I'm always inspired when you share about your enthusiasm about the pure chanting. It's all coming from that. I do believe that, and I see have wonders happen. I see it. It's happening for devotees who are distributing books, like Mathura Pati Prabhu. He's getting the money without making the money, and I have seen to smaller degrees with different personalities, and here, yeah, it's possible that we all put our energy together in creating a consensus in seeing a vision of this Varnashram college happening, these Varnashram colleges, and to do it from a place which is not black and white, which has a lot of gray shades. Yeah, it's about the qualifications, like Ramananda Prabhu brought it back to that point, and we need to start training people. We need to start training in the context of the qualifications for being a Brahmana. And yeah, it's very easy. What Srila Prabhupada has given us is his books. It's the law books. It's the law books for the next 9,500 years or so. So the Brahmanas, they just study those books, not all the books, and and they study and they teach, and they guide us how to set up the Varnashram colleges, and we do what we need to do practically. We need to start somewhere. So Varnashram College, we need to set up a model for the ideal society, and we need to train these two classes. We need to train Brahmanas, and that is actually what Srila Prabhupada already did. So the blueprint is there. So next, how do we train Kshatriyas? Kshatriyas in the spirit of Vaishnavas. And Ramananda Prabhu mentioned different qualifications that can be there. And
I mean, maybe why don't we next week discuss about these group of devotee advisor? I mean, Gauranga Prabhu is making a very important point that those devotees, most devotees don't want to do this. And but I know for sure, Srila Prabhupada, if he is giving us the desire to do this, that means he is also must be giving to different devotees desire to help other devotees, to advise, because they are not in a social life like status, like an ashram status where they would be able to execute these things, but the same desires would be coming in other devotees too. So I don't doubt at all that because if it's a plan of Krishna, then that means it's not like we are alone thinking like this and there is an insufficiency in Krishna's plan. We just have to, now that he has made this into a like real issue, which is which is in my mind also. And so why don't we figure out a way of formal, like how do we go around consciousness wise, and also how do we go around figuring it out which devotee, when,
so
how, advisor is.
I think one of these devotees is behind you. Oh, sorry.
Yes, Prabhu.
Is behind you in the building with that questionnaire, the survey for checking the Vedic personality inventory to check which guna am I in. It's a self check. Of course, that is not the only tool we should have, but I see that is one piece that can help us, and we can further look at embellishing it, advancing it with checking how much proactivity, how much creativity, how much intelligence, how much independence does someone have, how much heroism, how much of the resourcefulness that a kshatriya needs does someone have. There are already a lot of tools out there in the world that we can use in the context of the Vaishnava scriptures and Srila Prabhupada's advice. And Kuranga Sundara.
Yeah, Prabhu. So what I'm saying is, like we see a college, okay? And there are teachers, there's principal, there's administration, and then the person who has made the college. So in this, you can see that the principal can be the Brahmana, teachers will be Brahmanas, principal Brahmana, the administration, the group, that can be Kshatriyas, and the Vaisya who has made the college. He only comes into picture when the college has to be expanded, for that only. But the management is done by the Kshatriyas, and the decision making principle, who is the Brahmana, what courses, what not to teach, how to teach, everything that is done by the principal and implemented by the teacher. So this could be a nice model which you can start with.
Why only one Vaishya? Why not many Vaishyas? Why one person has made
That only, I mean, if people can come together, many people come together, they can build the college, so why not? I'm just saying the hierarchy like that, you can have
Sure.
it.
Oh, that's a good thing. Why don't we discuss? I mean, that's very good. Why don't we expand on it next week about especially with starting with the advisor thing, and then try to build out this whole principal and administrator and like that. That's this kind of thinking. That's nice.
Yeah. To me, to close this, like this sounds to me like we're discussing a lot, like what what positions do we need? Like in the game of soccer, we always have a goalkeeper. So in the goal of material life, we always have a kshatriya. Yeah, Krishna is saying, hard to deny. And now we are discussing here. I see us circling around. What kind of strategy do we use? What formation do we use in the game of soccer or in the game of life? And there are so many different formations. Maybe for the Varnashram College that will be manifested in Gopal Farm in Florida, it will be like this. You have many Vaishyas in the background. You have this role and that role, but always there needs to be a certain balance.
Okay, very good. Krishna Kishore Prabhu, I don't know if you are able to speak again. We wanted to really hear from you. He's so busy serving Srila Prabhupada always. I really appreciate what he's doing. So, Prabhu here. Okay, I think we should finish now. And thank you very much, Bharat Prabhu, for facilitating this discussion. Very well done. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, devotees, for contributing as much as you could. It's a thing which we have to like figure out by discussion, so we don't have answers to it. But I think we are getting closer and closer. And then during the week, if we churn it and then read from Srila Prabhupada, then we are getting more and more indications, directions. And then let's again assemble next week, same time. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu, for even steadily continuing while you're driving and getting us together here. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu was driving.
Jai Prabhupada.
Panchakalpatarubhyascha.